You got this brother here that immigrated to America from the continent, and he just taking issue with the issues in this country with the 14th Amendment. I don't know what it is about people that immigrate here. They really feel that they can be speaking on our history, our culture, and everything else. I don't get it, because I've been to several countries, and our FBAs do not get involved with anybody's stuff. They don't. I don't see them get involved in any politics. I don't see them speaking on their personal issues. FBA just come in there, be respectful. They enjoy themselves. Even the ones that live there, right? They're not getting involved in any of their politics. But when it comes to the immigrants in this country, they feel like they got a right to get involved with our politics. They don't even know what they're talking about a lot of times. Case in point, I want you to hear what this brother, and I use that very loosely, how he talking. I want you to hear what he has to say.
Okay. So, ever since Trump passed what he passed, right? The whole 6-3 judges and all that, I see a lot of FBA coming online celebrating, saying, turn in your passport, saying it's time for you to go home, saying Trump just solidified indigenous Black Americans and their rights to the land and all that. So I'm just wondering, like, does this mean we have been arguing with dumb people called FBA? Because the whole basis of the argument was, you said you're not African. You said you're indigenous to the land. You said you were here before the white man showed up with slaves. So why are you celebrating about an executive order, 14th Amendment, that was passed for slave children of slaves? I thought you're not from Africa, you're indigenous. So how are you a child of a slave then? How? You guys will celebrate anything, even your demise. I swear to God, you Black Americans, anything the white man says, right? Contrary to Africans or any other person, you celebrate. Even if it is at your own detriment, you celebrate. Now FBAs are celebrating 14th Amendment for slave kids. And they say they were not slaves, they are indigenous. You guys need a hug, bro. You need a hug.
The lack of understanding with some people that immigrate here, or just some people in general, is horrible. Okay, sir, let's go ahead and try to educate you, even though you're getting involved in things that's not your business. Even though when FBAs go to your homeland, we would never get involved in your business. We have first of all, we have no right to be in your personal business or anything, because we're not of your history. We're not of your lineage. If we're there, we're just enjoying ourselves, right? We're going on vacation. We're enjoying the food. We hanging out with the people. We're just having a good time. We're not even trying to put ourselves in the mix. We got some businesses over there. Okay, we're running our business. That's that. But if you understood American history, you know that, yes, the transatlantic slave trade happened. Correct. My ancestors came through the transatlantic slave trade. There was some who was already here. They were put into slavery too. So whether if they were already here or they came through the transatlantic slave trade, they were put into slavery if they look like me. Okay. And they was on those plantations, sir, for about 250 years. And after the emancipation of Black people in this land, there was a group of people, almost about 4 million in total. They're just basically here roaming the land. So then they had to make a decision. What are we going to do with all these people? We want to ship them back to Africa. And Lincoln and them was trying to say, hey, if you want to go back, you can. And some people did go back. They went to particularly Liberia. But then, of course, we know Lincoln was, his life was taken. He was assassinated. They immediately shut that off real quick. And eventually down the line, they did the 14th Amendment because it was much easier to keep Black people here than ship 4 million people back to the African continent. OK, so the children of slaves, those who came off those plantations were the children of slaves. They were slaves themselves. They have a 14th Amendment, OK, of the U.S. Constitution. The 13th Amendment, which, ended slavery, at least private owned slavery, transferred to state slavery. The 14th Amendment was made us citizens of the United States of America. The 15th Amendment, they gave us like voting rights and things like that, right? 13, 14, and 15 are for Black Americans. Now, that's just to give you just a little history. But even if you don't understand the history, why are you worrying about what anybody online is saying to you, sir? What I would be worrying about, beyond with you, is your status okay? Because you can always shut people off online. Listen, you get off these phones and get off the app, you won't hear nothing the FBA is telling you. I promise you that. I have pages where people are talking all the time. Some pages I'm looking at religiously, some I don't look at all. I'll just make the content and go on by my business. Maybe I'll go back and check it here and there, right? But arguing with FBAs online, making videos of FBAs online is not going to fix your status. The fact is, FBAs are American citizens. They're not immigrants. I know some of you thought that, but we're not immigrants. We can't be rounded up by ICE in droves. No, we can't. And see, people like yourself, sir, that's what we're talking about. See, because they have some people may say, well, Phil, they legitimately say this. Well, Phil, he talking about, FBA and immigrants and this and that and the third. The ones I'm talking about, brother or sister who are immigrant here and love what I do, I'm not talking about you. You the one I want to stay here, right? If you're on code, brother from Africa, the Caribbean, you're on code, brother or sister from Latin America. You understand what I'm saying? If you a Blasian person, right? If you a black Arab or wherever you come from and you black like me and you on code with us, I want you to stay. I want you to duck Trump. I want you to duck ICE. I want you to be here. But the ones like this guy in this video, that's the ones I want ICE to come get. People like Myron Gaines, I want ICE to come get him. You get where I'm going? If you're on code, brother or sister, you all right with me. But it's those like that who are all these politicians, right? Like the Ilhan Omars. People like that, yeah, they can go and get her out of here too. But if you're on code with us, I want you to stay. This guy is completely disrespectful. He has no right to be speaking on our lineage. He has no right to be speaking on the 14th Amendment. He don't know anything. He don't know enough. He ain't been here long enough to know anything. That's what we're talking about. And what it is that he's made videos talking crap, and other black Americans are checking him on that. And see what it is, they're not used to black Americans drawing that boundary and say, you're not going to disrespect me. Because if you go to his homeland, I know what I'm telling you. I've been to African countries. They would not allow me, you, or anybody to go to their country and start talking crazy about their laws, their history, their lineage, their politics. The first thing they will tell you is say, hey, hold on. Okay, we cool you here, but you're a foreigner. You don't know enough to talk about our history. You're not even a citizen. So why are you getting involved? You're offending people. You understand? They will tell you that quick or in the continent of Africa. And I don't take an issue with them saying that, because that would be the honest truth. When I went to Ethiopia, I didn't go speaking on their issues. When I did the interview with Sister Miriam or Mama Africa, I didn't talk down about their government. I say, hey, I see what Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, he's done to the city. It looked good. Any criticism they got about him, that's not my business. All I'm going to do is speak on what the good he's doing, right? I said, man, shout out to the Prime Minister. That's it. I'm not getting involved with nothing. Even they told me, Phil, this going on, that going on. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get an Ethiopian to speak on this. I'm not speaking on it because I'm not an Ethiopian. If I'm going to Kenya, if I'm going to Nigeria, wherever, they complaining on their people, you do it. Because that's part of your history, your heritage. It wouldn't even be right for me to be talking, even on my African Diaspora News channel. Do you notice I don't really dive too much into their politics? Not because I don't know about it. I study their politics all the time. Now, I would get into it if it's connected to the United States. Then I'm going to start talking about it. This is the reason why I have African journalists on that platform. So they can talk about the issues in the continent because they live there. They're there every day. You understand? And I think it would be better coming from them than coming from me sitting in America. Because that's called respecting people. You feel me? Now, this guy is the type that like to be disrespectful, just based on his tone. This is the type that try to tell you that, oh, well, we do better, which when you really break down what you mean that you do better, they really ain't done nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess you're doing better than what you probably would have done when you come from. But in relation to black Americans, you haven't even scratched the surface. And then when they try to compare themselves, they compare themselves to people who are low income in our community. They don't compare themselves to even the middle class black people, the upper middle class, the higher class. They never compare them to those black people. They always try to compare it to people that's struggling. If you got to put yourself against somebody who's struggling, that means you ain't done too much. Right? So when they tell you we're doing better, well, on paper, we're doing better, it really don't, like the old people say, it really don't amount to a hill of beans when they say that. But I can see definitely why brothers and sisters are getting on him because he just so disrespectful. So yes, FBAs will be clapping if he gets deported. Sure. Oh yes. You better believe that. But to the on-code brothers and sisters that rock with us, they respect us, they respect our lineage, they respect everything about us, and we respect them. Yes, I want them to stay. Bottom line, I want them here. Sure enough. All the Haitians, that's cool. I want them to be here. The Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying? All the different African groups. I want everybody to stay if you're on code. Because, hey, look, this is your time. Now, to people that's on code, let me tell you about this. This is your time to really unify with black Americans. Unify politically. Say, hey, black Americans, we already cool with you, but we really about to work with you now, right? So, hey, how we need to vote? Who we need to vote for in this next election? Because we want to make sure that, because we know if y'all good, we going to be good. And that's just the truth. If black Americans are good and get something, y'all going to get it as black immigrants. You feel me? There's no reason for black immigrants to be against black Americans. It don't make sense because you're going to benefit off of anything that we get. You benefiting off of what we fought for already now. So let's unify together, work together, right? If you want to, I'm not begging you to, but work together. And the ones who are on code, of course, the ones that act like this dude here in the video, let ICE come pick him up. I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. It's not no xenophobia or nothing to say we don't want guys like him and Myron Gaines here. We don't need that here. They can take that back to the continent and deal with that over there. But get with FBAs. We also need you to get your politicians in line too. Your immigrant politicians, the ones that's talking about pro-immigration, not talking about pro-black. Because if they talk about pro-black, since everybody want to be black now, right? Everybody want to be black. We all black? Okay, we all black. Now let's show that in action. Get your politicians, pull them to the side and say, hey, stop that immigration talk. We need to be talking black, right? Period. Because we got to work together with the FBAs, because clearly we see we done messed up. So no, we got to course correct right now. And I told black immigrants, you are the ones that can fix it pretty quick. You really could. Now, some people are going to say, no, you can't. Listen, that's some black people just talking. One thing I know about black people, because we were raised this way, we was raised to support anybody black. Okay. So if you come right, you come correct, you on code anyway, you already known to be on code. Right? You from Jamaica, but you on code. Everybody know this about you, right? They're going to say, yeah, that's my Jamaican brother, right? That's my Jamaican sister right there. That's how we feel about you. So get your politicians on code, get your communities on code, and then we can really do something as a community. Because this is y'all time. Look, them other groups outside of black immigrants, they got a tougher time to deal with black folk. But black immigrants can actually fix it like this. They really can. No matter what some black people tell you. Trust because I know my people. Even guys like that's in your community, like in this video, get them in line too. Or you know what? Say, hey, ICE, get him. I know where he at. He needs to go back. That's it. Because for too long we dealt with too many guys like this in this video, being disrespectful. Guys like this getting political positions, guys like this getting supervisor jobs and turned against us as black Americans, guys like that saying there's no racism. What are y'all talking about? Racism? Y'all talk about race too much, right? That's the kind of guy that would say that right there. And then now they're really seeing some racists in ICE, because there's some racists in ICE And then they want to start crying now. Well, where's the FBAs? So yes. We are thoroughly want guys like him, Myron Gaines, and other ones out. You better believe it. But guys like him who's totally disrespectful, it will never be allowed in his homeland. And this is a new day. We will not allow disrespect, and you will be checked from the gate. We are gatekeeping too. We're not letting anybody just come into our culture and just coming in and do what you want to do. Them days are over. It is a new day, and you're gonna come to our door with respect, or if you come with disrespect, then you will be met with disrespect. It's just that simple. Whatever you give, you will get. And that's just what it is. Now, I know some of the brothers, some of you immigrant women out there, talking about some of you sisters, from the diaspora, they got some brothers out here who's single, another way for you to definitely bridge the gap, start dating and marrying some of these good brothers out here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers who are more single than some of the women are. Trust me, believe it or not, there's way more men who are single. I see them. They go on trips with us and everything. They're single, don't have nobody. Some of you immigrant women get with them. That's one way of learning of each other's culture if you're building a family together, right? Now, I know some people maybe have a different idea about that, but I feel that the diaspora should get together. That's the only way you'll learn with each other anyway, right? But we're still going to respect ourselves. We're still going to respect our culture, our lineage, and that's really what's going to go on. So if you're disrespectful, you're going to have a big problem here in America.